Look at that hair.
Oh, on me?
Fuck yeah.
What
Definitely
did you do to your hair? What, you got dreads now? Oh my God.
got a partial build.
Boy.
I got some dreads. I got 7 real ones and 3 red fake ones that are just attached to them.
That's pretty cool. I'm not dread guy yet, but I'm not gonna do dreads. But
I said fuck it because 1, I'm not going to test positive for any drugs. So like fuck the stigma of
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then also like I work in a rehab, so like everyone there also has felonies and fucking
That's true. Yeah, they have the felonies, they have the drug charges.
yeah, like I
Whatever.
got more clean time than 95% of the people that work there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, fucking, it looks good on you. I like it. I don't think I'd be able to pull it off. My girl, anyway, also turns around too. Like, so, like, when my hair, I took a shower a little while ago, so my hair is like nice right now. But if like tomorrow when I wake up, or even like during the week because of work with all the dust and shit, my hair is like a rat's nest. It's all dried out and like it's all because of when I fucking dyed my hair purple. I think I bleached my hair 2 or 3 times, and that everything from like all of this is dead. You could probably see it. You know what I mean?
more than
Yeah. So I'm trying to let it grow.
you can even cut like an inch off.
It's pretty long right now. This is where I'm at right now.
Fucking right, that is. That's coming off the top of your head too. So if you had the hair like on the sides and the back, it'd be even longer.
This is where I'm at right now. It's like it's pretty, you know.
Yeah, your shit's probably longer than the hair coming off the top of my head.
It's not
just
bad.
I have the all this.
It was longer.
Back, so
it was. I did my last haircut was maybe like 6 months ago. Besides today, I actually had my girl just like do my sides today because they got so fucked up. And my last haircut, I had the guy cut off like a little bit on the bottom, and I was like, "Fuck, why did I do that?" Because they came down to literally like it was down to like here, and I was like, "Yo, it looked dope." And then I cut it, and I was like, "Fuck." It looks so shitty now.
He's got to cut the ends off. So
what he did, he cut like half an inch off, unless he cut a little bit more, or by cutting that half an inch off, it just made it look shorter. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to cut the dead ends?" I'm like, "Just a little bit." And might cut too much, you know. He was like, "Okay," and cut a whole fucking inch or inch and a half in that. But whatever. I don't really wear my hair down too much because it gets like annoying.
Yeah.
It's
I do a top bun and throw the hair forward now.
Yeah.
It's like my new thing. I fucking love it, dude.
I usually keep it in a ponytail, or I'll put it in like a small little bun on top because it gets in the way and whatever. My girl's always like, "Oh, keep your hair down. I like it. It looks good." And I'm just like, yeah, but like I walk and it like goes in my face and in my mouth, like, and she's like, "So why the fuck do you have long hair then?"
Yeah.
Like, because I like the ponytail. Like, I look good with the ponytail, you know? Like, so whatever.
That's it. I also like if I keep my hair down, like I have to keep the dreads and the real hair separate.
Yeah.
Dreads are real. But because if I don't, the hair will start to like get into like you see how at the top it's like not really dreaded that well.
Yeah.
It's just like that's what happens over time, and you got to go get it. Like I rather have it professionally done. Like I do this, and I was told to like do this and do some of that, but don't put anything besides. There's like this tightening spray that I have. Like beeswax is not good for it because then other shit gets caught in it, and then it gets like moldy and stuff. So I got the chick that I had do them is like all natural everything and has all those types of products and stuff, and showed me all the right things to do. She's had dreads for like over 20 years and
Oh
like has
shit.
been like doing like people's hair into dreads for like 15 years,
Oh
had her
wow.
own shop for like 10 years. So like she knows everything about fucking dreads. So
That's
whatever she says, I do.
that's
Um,
dope.
so I told her, I was like, yo, this quarantine needs to stop so I can come and fucking get my shit redone. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to add another layer. I'm thinking about going, like how your hair, where all your hair is shaved. I
Yeah.
want to do all dreads there and then just keep the regular hair on top.
Okay.
And then always
Different.
have the dreads tied back, and then
Okay.
fucking real hair on fucking top.
That actually sounds pretty dope. That's different too. Like I've never heard of something like that. You know, like that sounds pretty dope. Fuck it,
Dude.
do it. Why the fuck not? Who cares? You know.
I'm a fucking DJ producer who's got a podcast who works in fucking a rehab with a bunch of fucking people
Yeah.
coming
Like
off
what
the
the
street who were shooting heroin in their neck and was poor. Like,
yeah,
like,
fuck it. Who cares? Don't matter. You
if
know.
anything, it keeps the clients' guards down when I come around when they first meet me, and they're willing to like tell me like, yo, I actually got some like shit that I brought in my ass, and like, I'm like, all right, we're gonna go get that now and turn it in, right?
Oh shit.
They're like thinking I got like 6 months clean and I'm almost one of them. It's like, no, I got like the most time here. I got over 5.5 years. Listen, everyone's got their vices. Everyone's got, everything in moderation.
Yeah, that's like what we're doing. I mean, my girl's way ahead, way more ahead than I am, because last year I had a really fucking rough year when my parents left for Florida and we moved in together. Not with us, like our relationship is good. It's actually really good. But me, I went through 4 or 5 jobs last year because I kept getting to a place and they fired me. You're not good enough. Oh, I got a better candidate. So it's like, oh wow, that's fucked up. You got someone to replace me? Like, wow, man, that's like fuck. And so that was like really rough on me mentally and financially as well.
Absolutely.
And so that like set me back. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's rough.
I wasn't.
That's rough. That's real life shit.
Yeah.
That's hard,
Yeah.
Like,
And it was rough. It was rough too. You know, like it's my first time on my own.
Yeah.
You know,
Fucking
my parents are in Florida.
miles away.
I'm on my own, so I'm trying to get used to the real adulthood life now of, having to go to the store and spend fucking $30 on a fucking pack of toilet paper. I'm just like, damn, son, really? You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. And so
and we like our buttholes, so we want the Charmin real good shit. Like,
yeah, and that shit's expensive, bro. Like, so, it took a while to get used to it.
oh, shit, man. You came through the other side.
Hopefully it stays that way for a little while.
Well, even more hopefully, this music fucking that's the fucking
that's what we're aiming for, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm restarting the podcast. I'm doing all this shit, and I'm working a job where I know it's just to pay the bills, right? It's not like before I was working sales at a gym and like moving up the ladder and becoming assistant manager, and like I was like, am I really gonna be like the GM of this gym, like at some, and like that's the highest I can go, and I'm like, that's when, about a year or 2 years ago, 2 years ago this June, I was like, listen, I'm putting my 2 weeks in. At that time I was 27, like I'm 29 now. I was like, it's now or fucking never. Like the only way I'm going to be a GM at a gym is if I'm 40 and this shit didn't work. Like, and that's a maybe, because if I'm 40 and I have been working all this time to still grind with music, I'm like, already came this far. Better keep like it's gotta work. Like I have to make it work. There's no like free yourself. This podcast, free yourself, is gonna turn into a record label. It's gonna like all this shit that I have planned for it. That's why the YouTube page that I got is just Free Yourself Inc. It's that's the I'm gonna get incorporated. I'm gonna get LLC, like all that shit, and I got fucking like I want it to be a fucking clothing company. I want like not just merch for the artists on it. Like I want it to be a clothing company. Like Free Yourself. It can go across so many different things as a name for something. And
oh no, 100%. I agree with you on that.
Free Yourself Inc. FYI, bro. It's got a perfect fucking.
No, that's fantastic. Like you do that brand is great. You can go in so many different directions and it'll all be one huge fucking thing. Like I was like with my Cup of Joe thing, like I don't know if that I started my own label.
Fuck yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with it yet. There's nothing released on it yet, but I started my own label. It's called Liquid Energy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You saw it probably.
Yeah. Did you make an Instagram and shit? And
I showed just like the image of what it looks like. I could show you here maybe.
Yeah, you can share a screen and shit.
Let me see. I don't have it all this shit on this computer, but I could show you what I posted on Instagram, I think.
Let me grab my coffee and shit.
Yeah, go do what you got to do. All right. Yeah, let me show you. So let me show you. You see the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be my name, my name and the track title in there, and
you got the music notes coming out the steam.
Yeah, I gave an idea to somebody because I made one myself that was complete garbage. You know what I mean? Because I can't do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I sent it to this guy, and he put that together, and I was like, wow, that's really fucking dope.
Yeah, that's like I've always done all my own shit, but I've always, because I like what Justin says, and learn how to do all the stuff yourself so that when you see someone that's really fucking good at it, you know how much they fucking put into that shit.
Yeah.
So you know what to pay that kind of person. So,
exactly.
So right now, like you just said, like you did it, you realize like I'm not that good at this because like there's people that do this for a living, and you found someone that you respect to do that, and that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And like forever, I've always done the Free Yourself stuff, but now because I want this to be like real official and stuff, there's this guy Max Gold that I know through the Aftershock family and stuff, and I saw some flyers that he made, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'd like to pay this guy to make sure this shit is fire. Yep. Like,
well, that's how it was. I found, so the guy that I did, his name is Soul Vision, mm-hmm. and he does not all of the big dubstep guys, but he does I saw he did a handful of them, so I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, here's my idea. Here's some of the music I make, and this is what I'm trying to go for. Here's my logo, brand, and He's like, all right, I got you. And he was nice because I think I asked him to do this a little after Christmas, and I was still in between jobs, and I was like, yo, like, how much do you do this for? Usually he's like, it depends. Sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's more than that. I'm like, fuck. I don't have... I was like, he's like, what's your budget? I'm like, my budget's like $100 max. He's like, all right, since it's the holidays, I'll cut you a deal. I'll do it for you for $100. I'll have it to you within a week or two, whatever. and
Yeah,
I
that's
won't
the other thing.
stop until you're satisfied. I'm like, okay. He pretty much sent it over to me, and I was like, damn. I asked him to like try and do like one or two small little things. He's like, I already tried it. It didn't look good. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I'll show you, but I already tried it. He's like, just trust me. I'm like, all right, can I just see it? He's like, yeah. So he sent it to me. I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, all right. I mean, I can't. So I just took it, and he gave me the actual file in Photoshop so I can mess with it.
Yeah.
So now, like, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, like, what I did was, I don't know if you saw, Paul is doing Sound So Sweet Wired Wednesdays again.
Oh shit.
Remember when I was playing those a couple years ago? I know you didn't come to them, but I know you saw the flyers and shit.
Yeah, the Wednesday stuff.
The Wednesday
I was
show.
working Wednesday nights and shit.
Yeah, so he's doing it now, digital edition. So he made his own overlay, and then this is what I did. I'm just gonna show you through the camera like this.
Yeah, you're good.
This is what I did. I actually made this the wrong one, I think. Yeah. So this is I made a couple. I'll show you a couple of them. This is one of them.
Oh fuck yeah. That's fucking sick.
So that I made that like that, but then I realized I was like, yeah. So what I did was where the table and the cup was, I took that and put it in that other box in the corner and put my Cup of Joe guy in there too. And then that big black space was visuals that I found and just downloaded, and I just threw them up. And it played because I don't have a webcam and I can't do OBS on this laptop that I'm on and stream because this laptop is trash and it can't handle it. So I
got fucking 16 gigs of RAM on this shit, and I tried to do Zoom into OBS so that I could just record them with a little symbol, like free yourself symbol in it, and it was like glitching. And I'm like, I got 16 gigs of RAM, and you're telling me I can't run OBS and Zoom at the same time.
It's your video card. What's your video card? How many gigs is your video card?
Oh yeah, I got zero fucking idea.
Go to the Apple and do About Me. About this Mac, whatever the fuck. And it says graphics. What does it say?
Ew. Yeah, Intel Iris Plus graphics, 655, 1536 megabytes.
1536?
Yeah.
Huh. That's under 2 gigs.
Yeah.
So probably why. That's probably why, to be honest with you. It's probably the video card can't handle it. When I did my stream for Twitch for him the first time through OBS with my visuals and me doing direct audio, my CPU, I think, was hitting like 30-40%. So I still like was under halfway. So the stream was nice and smooth for pretty much 95% of it. I guess there was definitely a couple times where it like kind of like the quality like crapped out, but that could have just been like my internet.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a thing you need to have.
Yeah, because I when I was getting this laptop, like I got a 13-inch. I went smaller this time because I wanted more RAM. Like my last laptop was 8 and like Ableton CPU. I'm like, I can only use Serum and then all stock plugins. Like, you know, the good thing is, well, if I know that, then I could probably get an upgrade of a graphics thing and have someone fucking, I mean, maybe not with MacBook because it's trying to Mac.
You might have to do that through Apple themselves with the graphics card,
Yeah.
with the
That might
laptops.
cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I know with my desktop, since I have the garbage can, I got that 7 years ago. This computer that I'm running, my desktop, it's fucking old. I just put 32 gigs of RAM in it. It helped this much. Like, all it did, like, so when when I had a project open and it had like 100+ tracks with like a lot of shit going on, it got to the point where I would play it and it would like be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then it get to a point and be like, oh, okay. And then, oh, no, I'm not going to play no more. And so and when I changed the RAM, the way I could say is that the RAM made everything kind of breathe a little bit better. Like the CPU breathe. So now like I do still get times where it crunches and does that, but it definitely went down way, way, way less.
Yeah.
So it helped. But that another thing with that too could be the processor. I have my processor on my Mac is called it's a quad core Xeon E5. So it's only
Whatever that fucking means.
it's an i5. It's an
Okay.
i5 processor.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find an i7 for this type of computer anywhere. And
I got i5 too.
yeah, nah, you need like 7. If you're gonna do crazy video shit, you need 9.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find the 7, and they don't make it because I need the Xeon one because that's special for this computer, of course. And then my graphics card is pretty decent for this computer. I was running Elder Scrolls Online at full, so it was pretty good. But if I looked up those and I can upgrade those, they have mine's it's called a Fire Pro D300. They have I think it's a 300, 600, and 900. And if I wanted to go up to the next one, which is 500, I think that's 4 gigs instead of 2 gigs. I think that thing was like $800, and it's just like, are you fucking like I could just build a beast of a fucking desktop PC for $800, which I was considering doing. But I was gonna sell this and build a PC for like $1,200-$1,300 and like a dope ass one. And then I was like, wait, I can't just build it and transfer everything over because of Windows and Mac. There's 2 different operating systems.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. So I started looking into how to go about doing a transfer smoothly and maybe just like taking a week of my time to get everything over properly. And it looked so scary to do. I was just like, you know what? I'll just go spend $150 on another 16 gigs of RAM and pray that does a little something to make my life a little bit easier. So that's the route I took because I didn't want to have to go get another external hard drive, then format it to be capable on Windows and on Mac, then take all of my projects, put it on there, sell my Mac, make sure I have all my plugins and my Ableton installations and all that shit. Make sure I had all that and then bring it over and then build the PC, boot it up, put everything on there, and then open a project and nothing be there or everything's gone. And now all the projects that I've been working on in like the past year that I'm like really happy about are out the door and I have to start over again.
Yeah.
I probably would have just thrown in the towel at that point and been like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. Fuck this shit. I'm over it. Because too much.
That's like I still haven't moved Ableton and all my shit over to this. Like first off, all the production that Chris and I do, we do on his laptop anyway. Like what me putting Ableton on my laptop would do is like I could work on shit when I'm not like with him. but whatever. Like, I've accepted the fact that for now, while we're getting started, like, as we let's be honest, 3 years of production for each of us. We're just getting started. You're at what, 13? I met you. You were at 10. Like, right?
Yeah, I think I'm at like 12 or 13 now.
Yeah. So like, I've accepted that for now. I'm the social media, networking, marketing, all the managerial shit, all the like, Chris doesn't do none of that shit. But that motherfucker can hear a song and make it. Like, so you don't need to do any of that stuff. I'll take care of all the bullshit. Just keep getting even better at production, bro.
Yeah.
Keep fucking doing that. We'll fill in each other's holes.
That's a great thing right there.
Like, my two favorite tracks that we've made, like, for a while, when my following wasn't getting up there, like, now I built to over 2,000, like, all organic, like, no bots. Like, I'm pretty fucking proud of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's fucking, at first it felt like I wasn't pulling my weight because I knew he was so much better of a producer. And I would be like, bro, but I don't like how this sounds. Let's try this. And then, but he would do it all. And I'm sitting there, like, sometimes he's just like, bro, I got to hold on. And he puts his headphones on and he just, like, goes in. I'm like, all right, let's see how I can promote us. But I let him go. And then he'll hit the space bar and play something. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So for a while, I was getting in my own head about that shit, being like, bro, like, you're not a producer. Like, you're not doing anything. And then, like, he started getting a lot of opening gigs for bigger people. And I'm like, all right, I'm pulling my fucking weight. Like, let's fucking go. And now, what's crazy is, so Aftershock fam, I brought to them, I was like, bro, the only way any of us are going to get better is if we all, like, learn from each other. And the best way to do that, like we do in Cosmic, is let's all do feedback sessions. Let's fucking get in there. And so I realized, like, holy shit, I know a shit ton about production, actually. Like, I'm giving these guys feedback, and then I put my track in, and they're like blown away, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, your kick is clipping. Like, you need to bring the what's the Haas effect thing. You need to fucking, it's all stereo and all crazy, and then your drop comes and it's all this, and we need to fucking, you have the 2 dB little game. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, I know shit.
You do know shit. I remember when you first started in Cosmic and you were first coming to the feedbacks, when I was going in them all the fucking time. Oh, you had great feedback, even for, like, a lot of people do. Like, some people that are just listeners and don't even, like, produce, or like, yo, I don't know if I really like that sound, or, that sounds a little bit louder than what it should be. I think even something small like that is still helpful for me and everything like that too. It sucks. I wish I just don't really have too much time to go into the Cosmic feedback, even though it's the ones during the week are absolutely not an option.
Listen, I was working Sunday to Thursday, 3:30 to noon. So, like, for me to go to the Sunday one means that, like, I have to get in there at 1 and then leave my house by 3 to get to work. So, like, am I going to be able to get all my shit ready, pack my lunch, all that shit, get ready for it? So, like, the Sunday one was the only one that was maybe doable. So I hit that, like, maybe once a month. And it was like, it was getting too much. And then while I was playing flag football, like, flag football was Sunday mornings, then Cosmic feedback, so it was like, it's just not happening. And then I worked 3:30 to midnight. So Monday, the new one that's Monday wasn't happening. And then the Wednesday ones were just never happening. But I was still feeling like I wasn't giving enough, because, like, I'm not the guy that I don't have a bunch of plugins to give you. I don't have a bunch of samples to give you. Like, the only thing I know how to do is like, share your shit to my story. Like, to be honest.
Yes, it seems like that's like good enough. I was like thinking about that for myself too, because when I saw the reason why I started the whole label, the Liquid Energy label, was because Casper told me to. When I was with him at the show that he played out here in November at Avant Gardner. I ended up at the end of the night, at the end of his set, we ended up in the back chilling with him, smoking and hanging out, and he gave me a bunch of advice. And like I talked to him about what was going on and everything, and he's like, "Yo, Joe, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna make your own label and you're gonna self-release." And he's like, "You release whatever the fuck you want. Don't give a shit about what anybody thinks." He's like, "Just put out fucking music once a month." I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "But now, if I put out all this content once a month, which is great, but I put it out through the label, and I went through Symphonic, so when I release through Liquid Energy, it's going on all platforms, Beatport, iTunes, Spotify, everything. So it's like legit shit. Now I'm like, but wait, I'm going to release a track every month. Now every month I have to hit up people and push every song. I'm like, that's too much. So I didn't know how to go about it. Mm-hmm. So for the time being, I've been releasing. It's starting in January. I released. I think I had 2 tracks in January that I did for free. Mm-hmm. February, I did one that went on Beatport on Crossfaded Records, which Andre's label.
Yeah.
And then last month, I think I did another one for free, and I'm probably gonna do another one for free as well. So and I'm thinking like, yo, Justin said 2 to 3 that you really want to push. So I'm like, how about I just put out maybe 3 to 5 tracks a year on Beatport and spread them out like every 3 months.
Dude, the perfect, what I think just because of the like what you were saying, what just came to me is like once a quarter, pick a song to actually have people buy, and then the other 3 months of that quarter, right? Because
I think a quarter is 4 months. No, 4 quarters.
No, 3 months. All right. So one a quarter to actually push for buy, and then 2 that you put out, but you push Spotify.
Yeah.
Because then you free.
Yeah, it's free.
Buy that.
It's like, hey, yo,
can you just share your story and just make sure you add hit like?
Yeah.
Can you do that for me? Like that's
actually a good way to look at it.
Because the next like Chris and I came out with Game Over in October. It went to number 8 on Bass House, not released, like fucking the fucking chart, and then it went to the staff picks, put it at number 9 for the year. We were fucking blown away by that. I didn't know they did like a staff picks thing, and and then it got picked up by like a YouTube thing, but our Spotify, like I just posted fucking yesterday that we hit 1,000 streams finally, like on that. Like that was a big benchmark that I've been like really wanting to fucking post for a long time. But and what's fucked up is like, then this morning I see my buddy Bach Nero and Shizlo are like, we just hit 3 million streams. I'm like, yeah, fuck you,
yeah. Spotify.
They got friends, like they got that shit added to fucking one of Austin Kramer's, fucking playlists.
I'm still trying to really plan and like schedule everything and really get like a straightforward path. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm making tons and tons of music, but I'm starting to see the way a little bit. I have these 2 dubstep tracks that I've been working on. They're like a couple genres of one. They're like a trancey psytrance dubstep type of thing. I'm gonna try and make one more, make a 3-track EP, and I'm gonna try and send that out to see if anybody takes it. And if not, I'm just gonna release that on my label, probably as the first release. Mm-hmm. And then also, I've been making like Dead Mousey, Eric Pridzy, stuff, tech, and then like some heavier techno, but still in that realm stuff. So I got a couple of those. I gotta finish up, and I'm gonna make a couple more, and I might put an EP together and send it out somewhere. And I'm just gonna for Cup of Joe is gonna be no genre, just because I don't give a fuck. Number one, and number two, there's tons and tons of different types of coffee. So try to incorporate that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so that's what I've been doing with
Bro,
that.
look at Jaws.
Yeah.
He fucking puts out bass house, fucking dubstep, fucking. He put out Big Room when he first started. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like,
I don't either.
Exactly. Like my whole branding at first was the genres are just limitations, but I've fallen in love with tech house and bass house. And like, to be honest, like the bass house that we've made is because Chris is at the helm, right? Like, if it's up to me, all I want to do is put out shit on Dirty Bird. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I want to be forever on Dirty Bird and be at every Dirty Bird fucking birdhouse camp, whatever they fucking do. Like, that's what I want to do. I don't care if I sign a permanent 360 deal where I'll always be under Claude Von Stroke. I don't give a fuck. I love that dude so much, dude. Like,
yeah, no, dude, when me and Ange went last year to Deja Vu, and they did what was it, on the Saturday or the Friday? I forgot when it was. I think it was on the Friday, because the festival was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's how they did it, and you had like Sunday and or Monday to chill at the resort. On Friday, so Thursday was just the festival. It was at night. It started at like 4:00, ended at 11, I think, or 12. And then they had like 5 other rooms, because this whole resort was huge. 5 other rooms that went till 5:00 in the morning. Everybody fucking playing still, you know, and they just going. And then Friday, they did a pool party. They did a fucking Dirty Bird pool party, bro. Oh my God, dude. Bro, me and my girl probably had the most fun there that we've ever had in our entire lives. That shit it started at 12:00, and that shit went till I think like 5 or 6. Bro, dude, forget it. Yeah, I wish I could you could look up pictures, bro. The pool, there was like maybe 5,000 people there or whatever. Everyone's just chilling, drinking, splashing. Dude.
It's like people don't realize how many parallels there are between tech house and dubstep, because they're both the rage versions of each other's genres. Like, people think tech house is like chill and like, yeah, like, dude, I'm fucking going nuts on stage when I'm fucking DJing, dancing my fucking ass off. Just like if I was playing dubstep, fucking head banging like a motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
So once I realized that it's like the perfect beats per minute to just fucking dance, and I don't have to just headbang the whole fucking time, which I still love. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, I haven't. My love for Excision is still the reason why I committed to DJing. Like in 2011, when I saw Excision live, I was like, fuck this fucking bullshit with health and coaching and being a phys ed teacher. I was like, I'm fucking DJing. And like, I saw those big red X's on either side of his fucking stage, and I'm just like, I was rolling face, you know, and I'm like, there's nothing else in the world that I'd rather do than that. And I had, you know, at that point, I was still like the virtual DJ on the laptop, you know, kind of DJ. But I had gigs. Like, I was doing bars and frat parties and shit with that. And I was like, you know what? Like, there's nothing that I love doing more than that. So like that's the next year. I DJ'd. I was DJing out at places and stuff. And then the next year I graduated college. Took all the money that I got from graduation, bought a tractor control S4, and was like, I'm fucking committed. Let's go.
Dude, that was like for me too. I used to listen to a bunch of death metal and play the drums. I mean, I still play the drums. I don't have my kit, but like I could still play it, whatever. And I ended up, someone introduced me to, was that Nightcore? They're called some like speedcore
Oh,
Japanese.
there's all these videos of the fucking goth people that are fucking.
That's, and I was like, okay. I was like, this is kind of cool. And then I started hearing like Dr. Feelgood and all that classic shit. And then I ended up finding this like crazy hard style, like very hardcore hard style. I found Anger Fist. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Anger Fist. Okay, yeah. So I found them, and I was like, bro, this is the death metal of electronic music. I was like, what the fuck? So I listened to that for a while, and then I made the crazy transition from that. After I found them, I don't know how, but I came across Deadmau5 back when he was doing his really dope shit, like that progressive long, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? So I started listening. I downloaded all his shit. I started listening to him constantly, and I was like, this is sick shit. And then it went, and then it started going into electro, like the old school electro. And then I started listening to Big Room, and then dubstep, and now I'm starting to like more of the techno and tech house as well. I mean, I love everything. I love trance. I'm not really a huge fan of country music, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But I pretty much love everything, you know. I listen to it. But that's what happened to me. And like after I listened to Deadmau5, I was listening to Deadmau5, and I was like, yo, like how are these people making this? Like, where's music coming from? You know what I mean? I had no knowledge of it. And I met a couple of my friends in high school, and this one kid, he plays guitar, and he's really good at guitar. And he was like, yo, he's like, yeah, man, you ever heard of Reason? I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, oh, dude, it's a really cool program. You know, you can plug in your drums and like you make a song. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he showed me it. And then in high school, my senior year of high school, there was like an electronic production class. They didn't show you how to make music, but it was all like basic electronic music shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they used that program, and they told you to like make some beats and some sounds and do this and do that. And I was just like, no shit. I went and bought a laptop. I started producing, and then I was like, I saw like people. I was like, wait, now these motherfuckers, they make their music and they play it, they DJ. I was like, yo, how the fuck do you do this now? And then I finally I started on virtual DJ on my laptop in my room. Then I tried to start getting gigs, which didn't work out well at all. And so I was just playing friends' house parties, a couple frat parties too, like you. And then I finally got a controller, and I started getting a little bit more into it. And then after I finally learned the concept of mixing and DJing, I was like, all right, let's go top notch. And then I bought my CDJs, and I was like, all right, now figured all that out. Now I'm, here. That's pretty much how I got into this whole thing. And I've had a love for it ever since, but I will say it is very, very fucking stressful and mentally draining and tiring, and it's, dude, like, right now, I mean, that the coronavirus isn't really helping because it's hard for me to really grab inspiration by sitting at home and watching my TV with the live stream on these people instead of actually being there and feeling it and being around the homies and the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, so I've been like a little, I wouldn't say discouraged, but I would maybe say like low drive, low motivation to like get in the studio and really work on shit. It's been tough
Yeah.
for me. I don't know why, but I'm trying to like push through it and get around it, which is also another hard thing to do. Like I said, this whole industry is very fucking stressful.
Yeah. I
I've
mean,
been,
dude, I get it. Like today was the first day I hugged someone other than my parents who fucking, you know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
hugged my brother-in-law, and
yeah,
like as I gave him a hug, I was like, "Oh my God. This is the first time I've hugged someone in literally March 30th was the last day I worked. It's the what, 25th or
yeah.
whatever." Like I was like, "Holy shit." Like this is, and then I was like, "Oh shit, this is the first time I left my house." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like and all the only reason why like I've been able to, you know, like stay somewhat productive is because like, look, I got my heavy ass speakers to fucking deadlift and to fucking I'm fucking
Yeah.
I have a backpack full of 45 water bottles because that a 16-ounce water bottle is a pound. So I got 45 pounds on my fucking back. I'm doing fucking push-ups. Fucking, I brought a pull-up bar. Like I'm doing that. I got really into yoga. I'm fucking doing yoga like 5 times a week.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking odd. And then like every day it's sunny. I start my day drinking my coffee with and writing my to-do list. Like writing the to-do list over the last week and a half has stepped it up even more. Like getting a lot more shit done. And but still like the drive to create is tough. Like it's the stuff that I'm able to do is like I haven't had ideas for music, but I've been able to engage with a lot of people and continuing to like help with the Aftershock fam and build that whole thing up and 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 continue to work out and figure out different ways to kind of shape my exercise and shit like that. It's like, but I haven't had any drive to create music. I've only been asking people for feedback on music to finish the music that we have. Like, you know what I mean? There
Mm.
hasn't been any new songs, I haven't brought any new ideas to Chris. Like there's been 5 times where I was like, cause I write a lot of lyrics. Like that's just like a way for me to help my fucking, to get over fucking the bullshit that I
Yeah,
fucking, you
like,
know what I mean? Like that
yeah.
shit, shit helps so much. And like, I have I'll be watching a TV show and I'll have an inspiration for a line and I'll write it down and like, but that's the only line I get. Like, I don't get a second line. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck, man? Like,
that's like,
I can't
that's
think
like
of
what,
one rhyming word to end the next line. Like, what the fuck?
I know. That's like with me too. Like I'll make like a dope ass beat. Like I have I actually have these two songs that I just made. They're like a hip hoppy but deep dubby type of song, and like I'm probably gonna have Eddie or Mr. J go on them. But like if I wanted to do it myself, I would get the one line and then I'd be like, all right, where do I go? Now what?
Yeah.
And then I write all stupid, corny shit, and I'm just like, forget it. Where's someone that I'll just throw their vocal on it and call it a remix
Mm,
at that point or whatever.
yeah.
I'm not good at writing. I wish I was. But I mean,
Dude, I
I'm good at
know
anything.
that's the thing. Like, I may not be able to get my ideas perfectly into Ableton and shit like Chris can and shit, but when it comes to lyrics, I know the more lyrics I write and the more songs, like I take that same approach that Justin teaches in this, like the more songs you finish, the better you get. So like I took the Shade song Trampoline and like I wrote a whole song with that flow and wrote out a whole lyrics like with the verse, the chorus, the bridge. I wrote out a whole song. And I'm like, okay, so this is how I'm going to start to write songs. I'm going to take that same thing, take the arrangement, right? This is how many, and I'm going to write music this way. But since the quarantine, dude, not one song, dude, not one verse. Like, but I've written 4 really good lines that maybe a song could come out of. But shoot, man, I've written, I can't, I put it in my notes in my phone, and like I have to scroll like.
Yeah.
So like I've got a lot of shit written. Like, but shit, man.
You should write it down. But yeah, dude, no, this whole quarantine thing and this whole shit that's going on right now really sucks. It really it takes a toll. It's been taking a toll on me. I'm sure it's been for you too. Like I said, like I mean, you're not working, so it's you're working on your life, which is great. You know what I mean? But you don't have that like 8 hours of your day where you have to stop your life and go to work.
Yeah.
And dedicate it to that. Like me, I'm out there 55 hours a week. So is my girl. So it kind of puts us down, especially for her. It puts us down because
I mean, it's also dead out there.
It's dead out there. Everyone else is home
around today.
We're fucking working our buns off. I get home and I'm fucking exhausted, bro. Like recently, the past couple weeks, it's been very busy at my job because it's the busy season for my job. I get home at like 6 o'clock and I'm done showering and eating by like 7. And you really like, and then so I have to get up by 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm done eating by 7. It's like, do I really want to hop in the studio and get in there? Like,
and how good is your brain still working?
Well, yeah, it's like I do. Like my head is telling me like, get in there, do it. My body's saying, just sit and fucking relax, dude. You know what I mean? So that like kind of it like fucks me up. It's like I can't be productive because I have no energy. I'm shot. I mean, I definitely probably still have creative energy, but that does take, that exhausts you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Your brain's a muscle, dude.
Yeah, if I'm
working that shit.
If I'm in the studio working on a track for 8 hours a day and when I come out, I'm tired. It's like, yo, shit, I need to sit and do nothing for a couple hours to recuperate. But yeah, I'm I really hope this whole Corona thing turns fucking around, man, like soon.
There's a lot of antibody testing right now. Like I'm gonna go get the antibody test tomorrow morning.
Are you?
Because I was sick for 9 days with a fever and fatigue and all that shit, but I didn't have any respiratory shit, and I have asthma. So I was like, I freaked out with my job being like I can't work with because we're still taking people in from airports, like people coming off the fucking street. I work at a rehab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not fucking wearing masks. Fucking dope from Daquan, fucking, like, fucking, it's.
You're right though.
So my boss wasn't telling me you should go on furlough. But once I did, he was like, bro, if I had asthma, I'd be doing the same shit. And I'm like, I'm like, come on, why did you make the decision easier for me? Why don't you tell me that? And then my doctor was like, yeah, here's your note, fucking stay out and do this. So like, I could be working right now, but like I was freaking out. And then 3 days after I freaking stopped working, I catch a fever and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, this isn't happening. And so I kind of fuck it. So I was like, in my head I had heard, O positive blood type has a less adverse reaction. I had no idea what blood type I was. So I was just in my head, I was like, I'm fucking O positive. I know it. And I'm gonna beat this shit. And like every day I'd wake up, no fever, but I'd be like tired. I'd kind of achy and then at nighttime it would rock me again with the fever. Like, yeah, it was like clockwork. Like all day I would just be like fatigued. And like the third day that I woke up and I had no fever, I felt great. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a workout in today. And I did a workout, dude. As soon as I was done the workout, it felt like I got hit by a fucking truck. And I was fucking like, oh my God. I start like during the workout, I was sweating way more than my workout usually does, like makes me and shit. So I was like, all right, I'm getting a good workout. And then after the workout, I get out my room and I go to get food and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm still sick. I'm not. So then, you know, fucking another week, because I was sick for 9 fucking days. Every morning I'd wake up with like a 98, 97 fever or temperature, and then I'd be fatigued and no motivation. But I was like, all right, just hydrate, just rest. Like, you are recovering from this. But then every night I'm like, fuck. And then finally, the 10th day, it comes nighttime and I don't get the fever. And I'm like, yes. I got like a great night's sleep. And my doctor was like, and I called my doctor not till I was like 6 days in, and I'm like, yeah, like I've had this fever for like, you know, 6 days now. And he's like, well, I'm not going to tell you to get tested, because either way, whether you test positive or not, the recommendations are still the same. Like, rest, hydrate, Tylenol if you need, you know, to fever reducer, and you know, if you can't fucking breathe, you got to go to the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'm not going to go get tested, because one, if I have it, well, I'm risking giving it now to people by going out. And then if I don't have it, well, I'm going to the test site where the highest concentration of people that have it are. So like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to stay home.
Yeah.
So then time goes on, and I'm, you know, this whole time I'm like, I'm O positive. I know I fucking am. Like, there's no fucking way. And then my doctor's like 72 hours without symptoms, and like, you should be good. And so 72 hours hits. I'm at Easter dinner with my mom and pop, and and I go, hey, Ma, do you have any idea what blood type I am? She's like, oh yeah, you're O positive. We're all O positive. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, I spoke that shit into existence. I know it. I manifested that shit. Like
That's so funny. Yeah, dude,
like,
that must have been scary. Like, yo, for me, I have asthma too. Like, I have mild to moderate asthma, you know? Like, so there was a time I started feeling like my throat getting dry and a little weird. So I did go to the doctor. I wanted to make sure. And they were just like, oh, it's just post-nasal drip or whatever. And I was like, I asked my doctor, I was like, I have asthma. Can I get this shit easier than like anybody who doesn't have asthma? And I started asking questions. He's like, you're going to get it just as much as the next person that doesn't have asthma is, except that it's just going to hit you harder because you already have a problem breathing. Yeah. So the only thing I could say to you is stock up on your inhalers, make sure you're just drinking and hydrated, and that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
Like, if you really can't breathe, you need to go to the hospital, like you said. I was like, all right, well, should I be working? Like, am I okay to be out and work? And he asked me what I did. He's like, are you around a lot of people? I was like, not really so much. I should have said yeah. So he could have, you know, maybe given me the excused note of he needs to not be at work until further notice because he's got asthma and he's scared and whatever. But I've been working. I've been fine. I wear a mask at work. I'm majority of the time I'm in a machine. So I'm enclosed by myself. It's like my fucking machine. So I Lysol that shit. Everything is mad clean. When I have to step outside and help a customer, I put my mask on and I stay away. I stay like 3 to 5 feet away. I'm like, I'm not getting close to you. And some people start walking closer to me. I'm like, stop. Don't even come near me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but I like this. I'm sorry. I can still help you from this far away. It's not a big deal. But I don't know. I've been kind of nervous. I'm still a little nervous. But I feel like I would have got it already. because my girl works in a nursing home and she's around them every day. She's got
Well,
30 positive patients.
keep an eye out for antibody testing. And because there's so many people that have had it but show no symptoms, and then there's people like me who, I like we'll wait till I have antibodies to say like
Yeah.
I had a different reaction than some people. Like
Yeah.
I might have just had a flu. Like I don't
Mhm.
fucking know.
That's a long ass flu though. I mean,
Yeah, like that. My doctor was like, "You, without you getting tested, I'm going to tell you probably have coronavirus."
yeah,
Like
well,
my doctor said that. So
yeah, well, you had a fever, a weird fucking thing going on for
yeah,
9 days. The flu is usually 5,
yeah.
6.
I've never been sick for more than a week before, and
Yeah, I have. When I was way, way younger, I had bad bronchitis. I had to be out of school for 2 weeks for that.
shit.
That
Oh,
was,
I mean, I had mono. I
I
guess
never
that.
had that. I never had that. But the bronchitis, that was when I was younger, so they had me out of school for 2 weeks for that. And then the only other thing that I've had was the flu, which is usually a week tops. You know what I mean? So your doctor might be right, and not like I hate to say it, but you might have had it.
I mean, I'm I'm praying that I did. You know what I mean? Like because I mean, there's also, who knows, in China and Wuhan and stuff, who knows what the numbers really are, but they're saying that 14% of people that tested positive originally are testing positive again, like a month later or whatever. So originally I was like, I hope I had it so that I had the antibodies so I can do whatever I want. Like I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
I have my doctor's note till May 11th. I was like, I'm gonna go visit my friends. I'm gonna go hang out. Like I'm doing everything. I'm doing the shopping for my family from now on. Like they stay home. I'll go out. Like
Yeah.
I don't need a mask. I don't need
Yeah.
shit. And then I hear about this shit of 14%, and I'm like, so is this shit like herpes? And it keeps coming back, like, or like, because herpes is a
Yeah.
virus, right?
Yeah.
Like, AIDS is a virus,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
or
it,
HIV is the virus, AIDS is the whatever.
so apparently the thing with this, I mean, who knows what the real fucking thing is, but apparently they're starting to see people that get it, had it, recover, and get it again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That
Yeah.
14% of fucking people in
And
China, they said.
and get it again, and it's worse
Mm-hmm.
the second time. So it's like, shit, what is this? Just gonna be a recycling fucking thing? Like, okay, now let's say that fever shit that you had was it. You do have the antibodies for it, yeah. But okay, what's gonna happen? You have these antibodies in your body now. What's gonna happen in another 2 weeks? You're gonna get that sickness
Yeah,
again?
like
Like, are you
it's
gonna have that
either.
same thing happen to you again? And then, okay, after 10 days, you're gonna get better. And then what? You have more antibodies now. What is it gonna happen a third time? Like,
Yeah, like
you know,
it could be like the chicken pox where you get it once, you have the antibodies, and you can't get it again. You know what I mean? Or it could be like fucking, because the Spanish flu also, they're saying it could be seasonal, right? Because the flu happens in the cold. That's when
mhm.
it fucking can manifest better. So the Spanish flu hit people at the end of flu season. Then in the summer it dipped down, and then the fall came around, and the Spanish flu knocked people on their rock and killed a bunch of people again in fucking 1918, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they're saying that could happen as well. So if we start opening up and letting people go out, well, it's not maybe that we controlled it, it's that it's getting warmer. So like so now I'm like, do I move to Atlanta and stay the fuck there, like with my buddy down Midnight Panda down?
Yeah, right.
I'm about to go move with him and like, but so I don't know. Who knows? We just don't know. I know I'm someone who I'm doing all the right stuff when it comes to like exercise and diet and all this shit. To like I my diet consists of only real food. Like I'm only eating beef. I'm only eating fruit. I'm only eating vegetables. I'm eating pink Himalayan sea salt, black and white cracked pepper. Everything's organic. Everything is fucking like, because also asthma is actually an autoimmune response. So if you change your diet, the theory is you get all the, the cells or whatever of that food out of you. You now no longer have the response to that. So I'm eating, I did a whole story last night of all the food that I eat, and I didn't tell everyone like this is what I'm doing because of this and whatnot. But I'm gonna do a whole post with like, this is how I've changed my diet. Like I've noticed I've stopped taking I was taking a little 10 milligram steroid for my asthma. That ran out like a week ago. I stopped taking it, and my asthma has been the same as when I was on it. So is that because the steroid is still in my system a little bit and I'm putting, you know what I mean? Or is the diet also working and stuff? I don't know. All I know is that whatever I tell myself in my brain usually fucking happens. Like that's fucking, I can make jokes about the manifesting the O positive shit. But like, I also fucking manifested meeting motherfucking Tommy Sunshine on the boardwalk at Asbury Park. So fucking tell me I know fucking, like I make shit happen that comes to my fucking head. Like,
let me ask you, do you have inhalers? You have the rescue inhaler?
Yeah.
Oh, you
mm-hmm.
do you what was that steroid that you were taking?
It was Montelukast. Something. Let me get the thing on. Yeah, Montelukast sodium 10 milligram tablets. It might not even. I think it's a steroid, but I'm not completely sure.
I'm surprised because I never have heard of that. So what I'm prescribed is I have my rescues,
mm-hmm.
and I have a 1-a-day inhaler called Brio.
Okay.
And it's like it might honestly be the same thing.
It's probably the same thing,
but powder. It's
yeah.
like, so what it is, they told me it's like a pill, and like I open the inhaler, it crushes the pill, and I breathe in, and I feel the powder. Like you see the white powder on my lip.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me like that goes into my lungs and relaxes the inflammation that I have.
Yeah.
And it's a 1-a-day. I take it at night, and that's been working for me for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do get a random like attack here and there, but what I try and do is the second, because I get this, like, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, I get this weird itch or tickle and feeling in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get that, if I let it keep going, I start to wheeze and have a very hard time breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start coughing a lot.
Yeah.
So the second I feel that little tiny thing,
mm-hmm.
I'll go hit the inhaler and it usually goes away. But I don't know. I'm actually, I'm surprised, like, because no one else in my family has it. I mean, yes, I smoke cigarettes, but
You had it before you smoked cigarettes. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Well, so my experience was when I was 6 years old, I couldn't breathe and I had to go to the hospital and they had to put shit down that was when I felt really sick and we found out I was lactose intolerant. Also, they had to stick shit down my fucking throat. I was 3 years old, screaming bloody murder, like they're sticking this fucking tube to pump my stomach and shit. And but then there was another time I couldn't breathe and I had to go. We went to my doctors though, and they put me on the fucking whatever it's fucking called,
the respirator thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the inhale steam. Why the fuck can I think? Anyway, not important. So that from then on, I found out like, cold air gets to me when I'm, or if I'm doing cardio, it gets to me. And so then I always was like, okay, I have asthma. So I have the rescue inhaler. For the first, until I was 10, 11, 12, I was doing a pill a day. And then once I was 10, 11, 12, I think. I got the inhaler, so I would just hit it before I would do exercise, or if I felt an asthma attack. And then so now, like, all my education, like all this stuff, I did all, I'm crazy for, how I am, fucking health and exercise and all this shit. And I've come to find out, through my own research and whatnot, that it is an effect of an autoimmune, deficiency, whatever. And so all autoimmune stuff is related to the gut and the diet. So now I'm like, all right. So now I've eliminated fucking so much shit from my diet. First off, pretty much, there's no preservatives, there's nothing. I don't eat out. I don't eat fast food. I haven't had fast food in like 5.5 years, let alone the last like 2 months that I've.
Damn.
Well, all right. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, like that. I've had Five Guys. Fucking, that's fucking fast food. Like, it's
yeah.
It's the slowest of the fast food.
Yes, it
but
is.
It's fast food and it's banging. But
yes, it is.
Dude, like, so now no grains whatsoever besides rice. That means no bread, no pasta, no fucking anything. Only brown rice I can have. Grass-fed beef, cage-free eggs. Free-range chicken. Very few vegetables, but I can't have nightshades, so like tomatoes and eggplant and fucking all that shit. Peppers. Can't have any. So like even like cayenne pepper and stuff I've cut out. Like, the only pepper that I can have is black and white cracked pepper because it's actually from peppercorn, which is a fruit. So I can have that. So like I went in deep with this shit.
You really fucking did.
I don't have legumes, which is any sort of like beans and stuff. What else? No dairy. And I'm trying. So I've tried this elimination for now. It's been about 3-4 weeks. And I'm off now the asthma medication. No one told me to get off it. I ran out and I was like,
let me try this.
Let's see if my diet worked. Like, like let's put my money where my mouth is. Like, how much do I believe this shit's working? Like, and so now, but like a week ago I had, it's called Veganase, and it's mayonnaise, but made without any animal products. So, but they use pea protein. Pea is a bean, which is a legume. So I'm like, did I fuck it up? I don't know. Like, so that was like a week ago. So, and I'm still exercise. Like my workout today kind of got me a little bit. I was a little bit, but I was like breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth really, really helps, especially when I feel it coming on. My core instead of into my chest, like doing things like that, like not just when I feel the tickle or whatever, I feel, not immediately running to the inhaler. This is just over the past month. Like I've always been like, fuck it. I feel it, it's the only thing that's going to stop it. Right. It's the only thing I know. And then, so now like, I'm like trying to breathe and like, just Ryan, bring your heart rate down. Relax. This could also be related to anxiety. It could be related to, some other things and stress and stuff. So I've, we'll see. It's still a work in progress. And it's not even like if it stops and I'm on this diet, okay, I can go back to regular eating. Cause that's, if I eliminated that stuff and that's, and then the asthma's gone. So it's like, no, this is my diet the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Which, I could do worse than fucking grass-fed beef and steak and eggs and apples and mangoes and bananas. Like, I love that shit. Like, it's fucking great.
I love that stuff too. It's funny also because you might be right that it has something to do with the diet. Like me, I eat better than what I was, but I definitely eat like shit. Like what I just got was empanadas from a fucking place. That's no good.
See, but that's better than fucking McDonald's fucking not real food.
Yeah, it's definitely better. It tasted not like fast food. But sometimes I at first, when I first started really feeling and getting the asthma, and even sometimes now, when I ate some certain things, I got that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, sometimes when I drink certain dry red wine,
Mm-hmm.
I get that. And I'm like, yo, I always thought I was like allergic to something. And the doctor's like, no, you got asthma, dude. He's like, you're not allergic to shit. You got asthma. I was like, no, I don't. Like, can't I just be allergic to something and you give me a shot and then we're good to go? He's like,
Yeah, or tell
no.
me not to eat fucking peanut butter anymore. Like,
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah. Like, he's like, no, I can't. You have asthma. That's it. Deal with it. You know, you have it the rest of your life. I'm like, fuck. He's like, you smoke cigarettes? I'm like, yeah. He's like, if you stop smoking cigarettes, it won't go away, but it will help you 1,000 times more. I'm like, and what the crazy thing is too, is I mean, I have to stop smoking. I don't have to, but my girl has to stop smoking soon. So I'm going to do it with her. But we tried to do it last year, and we were on the patches and we were doing pretty well. I didn't have a cigarette for 6 or 7 days about, and my airway just like opened up. I felt so much better. That whole entire 7 days, I didn't have to use the rescue inhaler once. I still took my one a day,
mm-hmm.
but even when I have a set time where I take it, and I was taking it like usually. I'm surprised I'm not getting it right now because I usually take it right now,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes like even before right now I start to get it. And when I wasn't smoking, I took it. I would take it at like the same time, or maybe even a little bit later. I never felt anything. So if I stop smoking, I'm definitely sure that it probably will help the asthma. It'll still be there, but it'll probably totally help. So I'm trying to stop smoking, but you know, everything is so fucking stressful right now. It just sucks ass.
Well, I heard so I haven't I've been like back and forth with like dipping and like fucking I stopped smoking cigarettes like 5.5 years ago when I went through all that shit, and I started vaping. Then I was vaping and dipping. Then I was just vaping. Then I freaking slowly cut down the nicotine. Then I even took the flavoring out and I was just smoking vegetable glycerin. And then after like a month of just smoking vegetable glycerin, I was like, I'm not fucking. There's no nicotine. There's no flavor. Why the fuck am I doing it? And then I finally was just able to like stop because now there was no nicotine. It was just the action of fucking smoking, and then like go through like a fucking breakup, fucking bullshit. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna fucking go drink over this, like, but I fucking want something. So I started dipping again, and then fucking, and then went through that whole cycle again, dipping, vaping, slowly but surely. And then I was off of all nicotine for like 6 months, and then I was going down to a bachelor party in New Orleans, and I was like, everyone's gonna be really fucked up all the time. I was like, I'm just gonna get a tin for this weekend, and then that turned into 4. That was in July. I threw in my last lit December 31st, fucking 6 months later, and fucking and then I was vaping for a month, and then I switched to CBD at the end of January. And so I've just been doing CBD February, March, April, and almost May now. So I don't know. All I know is that when you're fucking done, you'll know it. Like I'm just like, I was fed up with I like my face more than I like dipping. I don't want my face to fall off. Like,
I hear that. I don't know how you do that shit. That's just disgusting.
I mean, there's like nothing better than just This fucking packet of hog and that burn in your fucking lip. Like,
That shit's nasty.
yeah, I've only met, 2 girls in my life that didn't agree with you, and every guy that doesn't dip thinks it's nasty too. And
I've done it. I when I was in high school, I tried it a couple of times, and the thing that did it for me is that I did it wrong and put it in my lip, but then there was that extra that fell out and went down my throat and burned my fucking throat, and I was like, and I spit it out, and I was like, I'm not, just give me a fucking cigarette, dude. Like, I'm not doing that shit.
see, how I got roped into it was I was fucking playing hockey in high school, and like the whole I'm gonna go to college to play hockey, and so like I can't smoke, like and then senior year comes along, and I'm like, fuck, like I'm not going pro in the NHL, like who gives a shit? Start smoking weed, then I have a cigarette or two, but I wasn't someone who ever bought packs, and so like dipping was always okay because I wasn't ruining my lungs, and I still have my lungs for hockey and shit. And so but then like that fucking concentration of nicotine, like there's so much more nicotine in a lip than there is in just one cigarette. Like, so I'm fucking super addicted to nicotine, and then I was killing like a tin a day. Then all through college, then they come out with the pouches, so it doesn't cut your lip up as much. So then I'm like, oh, now I'm throwing in 4 or 5 pouches, like, and then and then I'm playing college hockey, and so like, all right, smoking weed's good for you, so it's fine, but like smoking cigarettes is bad, but dipping's okay. My lungs are, like, this is the shit that I would tell myself to make whatever excuse I could find to rationalize whatever I was doing. I did it, and it worked. So then that shit was, that nicotine is fucking hard to cut, man. And finally, like, CBD is fucking, I fucking love it. I use this company CBD line thanks to Joey Diaz, who's a fucking comedian. He fucking promoted it on his podcast, and he's the fucking most wild comedian fucking ever. He's so fucking funny.
I don't think I've never heard of him. But
dude, well, he's from North Jersey, like or no. Is he from New York? He sounds like he's from fucking New York, and he's Cuban, and he's this fat guy that it's just, he's like friends. He's like good boys with like Joe Rogan and Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer and Ari Shaffir, the Sober October crew, and like all of them, and he lives out in LA, and he's just like the old timer that like. He sounds like he still smokes cigarettes, like fucking, he's got that fucking voice, and like, and fucking, like,
yeah.
But
no, I know. I kind of feel like I'm getting that fucking voice a little bit too.
Well, dude, this fucking CBD shit has changed the fucking game for me, and it helps, helps with anxiety, depression, pain. Like I don't even want to take Advil, Aleve, and Tylenol and all that shit, because I know the damage it can do to your liver and your stomach lining, all this fucking bullshit. And, I read too much, I think, sometimes, of the health shit. So this stuff is just like a, all natural way to fucking be a replacement for everything. Like, I'm not going to be the person who's got a prescription for Xanax for anxiety. Like, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be like that.
Like, I'm not going to get on fucking Ambien to go to sleep. Like, I'll fucking take CBD. It's a fucking all natural like thing,
I don't even like taking fucking melatonin to go to sleep.
It freaks me out.
Last time I took, I used to take it a little here and there, but recently I took a half of one, and I fucking woke up in the middle of the night screaming because I had a nightmare or whatever.
That's one thing that I've heard about with fucking melatonin.
And I was like, no more of that shit.
Mm.
I'm not, because it put me in such a fucking deep sleep. I'm like, no.
That's what people talk about with Ambien too, and like people like sleepwalking on Ambien and shit. And
That's
the like 3 times that I've ever taken melatonin, like the next morning, I'm like, I feel like hungover. I'm like, because it's like taking NyQuil and waking up the next morning, and you're like,
yeah,
I gotta be alive now.
worse. It's worse.
So like, and melatonin is something your body naturally produces, so that freaks me out too. It's like, how did they get it? And fucking,
I don't know. Science.
right?
Science,
Fucking,
bitch.
yeah, but 21
You
Jump
know?
Street, fucking science.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what's been going on with me, man.
The next couple months, Chris and I have a couple tracks coming out. A couple with Funk Junk, another one that is coming out on another record label that we haven't signed the contract yet, so I'm not gonna like say it, on this shit. And then we have 2 tech house tracks that I fucking love. Like I was so happy that we made them, and the vocal that we have on one, it just makes me laugh so fucking much.
Really?
Dude. It's like I don't want to, I don't want to like give it away and like put it on this and shit.
No, yo, if you're cool with it, send it to me. I'll listen to it.
Dude, fuck yeah. I also, the reason why I haven't pitched it to any labels yet is because I think the first drop is missing something.
Okay.
Like it's, how like Tech House, a lot of it, like the first drop is pretty bare, and then the second drop is a little bit more elements, and then the third drop is like everything comes together. But the first drop is it's a little too bare. Like it's
just add another drum. That's it.
know
Yeah, dude, just don't think about it. Add another drum. That's
right,
it.
right.
I'm serious, bro. When me and Smith are doing this stuff, we're sitting there, and I'm just like, it's missing something. We'll go find another percussion sound or maybe another top loop and cut some shit out of it and throw it in there in like certain spots, and boom.
Someone told me, someone that listened to it in the Aftershock fam was like, yo, throw some bongos in that shit. I'm like,
I can.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna try it. I want to see what the fuck's good.
Yeah.
I might fucking get the microphone and put it up to my own bongos and start fucking around.
Yeah. You could do that.
But I don't know, man. There's the vocal's my favorite part of it, and if we can get the first drop to be the potential and the level of the second and third drop, then I'm going for a bigger label, because I mean we got to number 8 it was technically our third release, but our first one has the remote controllers, and all 3 of our tracks are the highest selling records on each label. So like we've got a good resume to pitch to a bigger label and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just the quality of the music needs to be there too. Like we know there's some more stuff with the low end that we need to tighten up. So
dude, send it if you and Chris are willing to let me hear it. Send it to me. I'll point you in the right direction. Dude,
I mean I've sent it to plenty of people. Like you're the probably the best ear that would have had.
I mean, I don't even, I want to just hear it also, but obviously I'll help, I'll give you my personal feedback as well too. Why not,
Hell yeah, man.
Maybe it might have been shit that you already heard, or there might be something I say that you're like, oh shit, whatever, whatever.
Yeah. We've got a couple collabs too. JC Morales.
Yeah.
Chris, no. That just popped my cherry the wrong way. I got a missed call, but I thought it was from Chris, but it was from another Chris. I was like,
Yeah.
I put my phone on Do Not Disturb for this shit. I mean, I pretty much always have my phone on Do Not Disturb because I have so many notifications between running, both social medias and then having an alert for like every big label and stuff for posting, but it's for remote controllers and Ryan Janni. So I get like 2 alerts for every alert and I'm just like, do not disturb. I check my phone and I see everything when I see it. Like fucking, But
Yeah.
people get mad at me because every time they call me, it goes straight to voicemail. And I'm like,
Really? That's why when I called you yesterday, what was it, yesterday? When I called you, it went straight. I was like, yo, I was just texting him.
yeah.
Really that dude? Like, I said that to myself, and then I was like, all right, maybe he's like making his food or whatever it is. And then you called me back, and I mean, I didn't even think anything to it, but damn, I didn't know that. Like, if you have it on Do Not Disturb, it goes straight to voicemail. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm not disturbed ever by my phone. I'm chilling, and then eventually I look at my phone, and see, females don't like that. Females do not like that. I'm not in a relationship right now, so I don't have that problem of not getting back to a female for 4 hours because I didn't look at my phone for that long.
Well, yeah,
But,
that's different, you know.
yeah. That's a whole nother full-time job you got on your hands when you have but in a good way, because that's in a relationship, like you gotta be fully committed. Like have you seen Dave?
Dave?
You know who Lil Dicky is, right?
No.
You don't know who Lil Dicky is?
Who's Lil Dicky?
The best fucking rapper in the fucking world. Yo, no,
Even my girl was just like, what?
Yeah, he's legitimately really fucking, like, he's really good. Like, I'm not,
Okay.
all jokes aside, he's really
Maybe
really,
I
really
did. I don't know. I've never heard that name before. Maybe I've heard him and I just don't fucking realize. Like, that happens a lot, but.
So
Anyway.
he has a TV show now called Dave. That's his real name. And
No.
it's on FXX. And in the fucking last episode, because he's like really just all about his music career. It's about him, like, coming up, but it's not. It is Lil Dicky, but it's not that. It's not a mirror of his career. Like, it's not a true story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like funny and all this. And he's like all focused on his career all the time, and he's in this relationship. And then this girl is giving this, she's the maid of honor at her sister's wedding, and she's giving this speech, and she's like, I didn't realize until, like, cause my sister will do anything that it takes to make the relationship work or to make her guy happy, and I didn't realize that until this weekend how much the ambition for your significant other and the ambition for your job has to be, is when it's the same, it's like it's the only way it works. And Lil Dicky's like, oh shit. And then it shows him like driving home from the wedding alone, like without it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, like that. Maybe that's why I'm fucking single. Dude, it's freaking, it's a whole nother thing, man. And that's what a significant other deserves. They deserve the same ambition that you put towards your career and your life and
Well, yeah,
your
of
partner.
course.
So,
You gotta, everything. You gotta put like, gotta be loving to that person, just like you're loving to your career.
hell yeah.
You gotta put, like you said, you gotta put the same amount into it.
And that amount of time, like, cause think about that, like you got your full-time job, and then you come home and you're spending time with her, right? And on
Yeah, it's I mean, more recently we've been coming home and laying on the couch together and just chilling because we're so fucking exhausted. But I mean, when when that's like not happening and I have more energy, like I've found out like how to try and balance everything. So like, maybe it could be in any order. Like maybe I'll get home and we'll hang out for a little bit, and then maybe I'll come in the studio or do some of my own shit, and she'll do some of her own shit, or vice versa. I'll come in the studio, she'll be doing some of her own shit, and then like we'll hang out for a couple hours, and then we'll go to bed. So at least like, there's the balance. So it's we have time to do our own. We each have time to do what we want to do as an individual, if we want to do something like that, and then we have time to also spend with each other. So it works.
Yeah. I mean, shit, the last two relationships that I've been in were polar fucking opposites. Like one of them, I was like all in with the music and not all in with the relationship. And then I wonder why it ended, right? Like come on. And then the next one, it was like I was all in with the relationship and then I wasn't getting enough stuff done with the music, wasn't meeting up with Chris enough. And then like that's in itself like an overbearing to the other person. Like I was overexerting to that, and then that becomes, you know, you say like needy or whatever. Like I realized that I was over exerting myself in the relationship. And so then it was like when it ended, it was like, well, this is probably a blessing, because like I wasn't getting shit done with music. Like I stopped doing Free Yourself friggin' over about a year ago. And it was because like I was working full time and doing music, and I was in a relationship, and like the only night that I had to hang out was Friday night, because Saturday night was studio night, and then Sunday to Thursday night I'm working till midnight. So there was no time. Like she was working in the day, and so it's not like we could meet up before I went to work. And so I was like, all right, well, Friday night's the only night that I can hang out with her. So that means like Free Yourself is going to stop. And Facebook was shutting it down with copyright so fucking much. And it just came at a good time where I did episode 98, 99, and 100 as opening for Henry Fong, opening for Throttle, all on the boat parties. And then my birthday party on the boat party that we did in New York. And so it was three, like it was epic, 3 shows. It was good that, you know, it was June, July, August. So I did 1 episode a month. And then I was able to commit the time to a relationship, but then, but it you know, it didn't work out. So whatever. And you got to move on. And since then, like, then we got Game Over signed. Like it like the relationship ended. Then we got our first real track, like tracks, the remote controllers signed. And then like that shit started to do well. And then we started, you know, then this whole fucking coronavirus shit happened. And now we've got 3 more tracks freaking signed, and we're finishing more, you know, like it's so it's,
you know, but it took me a while to figure out the balance.
mm-hmm.
Even before I was in a relationship too, like balancing going to work, having time for myself away from music and work, having time for music, having time for my friends, you know, having time for my family and whatever. It took a while to figure out balance, you know, and you need to have balance, because if you don't have balance, your shit's going to be all fucked up. You know, you're going to be working your day job too much and too hard. Now you're killing yourself. Or you're going to be working at whatever hobby or career, whatever it is, too much, and then you're not going to have a lot of time for yourself, or you're not going to give time to your significant other or whatever. And then, or you could be, you know, giving too much time to your significant other and not enough time for yourself. And then, you know, it's so balance is important. And it took me a couple of years to figure that shit out, you know, and it was tough. It took a while, like I said, but I somehow was able to figure it out, I think, pretty okay. You know, it also depends on, you know, our work schedules as well. You know, like she has a couple days off during the week, every other week, where I'm at work. So she has her own alone time.
Yeah.
Like, not like forced, but like, you know, I'm not there unless I'm sick or something. So it's like perfect, like full alone time. Like obviously, yeah, during the week after work when we're both here, she could still have her alone time just as much as I can. But like, it's like full alone. I'm not here. It's just her to do whatever she wants. Same thing with me. She works every other weekend. So, and I'm off on the weekends. So those are 2 days from, from 7 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I have my own time to like, I usually use that time to probably play video games or something in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To get away from the music shit and everything else. Or I'll just like chill and watch TV or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's nice, That also is another factor that plays in the balance. So, but
Yeah, man.
gotta have the balance.
I used to, not used to, because I still believe that there's a lot of sacrifices that I have to make in order for this to work, right? And so for the first 2 years of or year or so of the production, it was like, well, I got to sacrifice time with my family, time with a girl. So I don't even need a girl. I got to sacrifice, forget the like, I don't even have a video game console. I was like, I'm not doing that. I took the TV out of my room. Like, I did all these things, and then like 6 months down the road, I'm like, I'm fucking all up here. My mental health is like out of it. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't done anything for myself. The only thing that my alone time, and the only thing that I wasn't sacrificing, like I was making sure I was going to the gym. So that was my one little like getaway, but that was still time.
No.
I was, yeah, like I was preparing for powerlifting competitions. So like, that's more stress. That's not the stress reliever, right? Like,
You're still working for something.
yeah.
You're not taking the time to have your alone. Like for me, my full like alone time getaway from like music and everything is playing video games with my friends for a couple hours. That's it. You want to know why? I'm sitting in front of a TV playing video games. I'm like wasting time, but like I'm technically hanging out with my friends, virtually, and we're playing a game. Like it's fun. It kind of just like takes everything away, and
It's an escape from the everyday,
Yeah, exactly.
routine
It's a
shit.
little escape where I'm hanging out with my friends and I get to shoot and fuck people up or get fucked up in the game or whatever it is. And then when if you like don't have that, it kind of it fucks you up.
Mhm.
There was a part in my life where I just didn't stop. I just kept going. I would stop maybe for like an hour or two to go smoke, but then I would be right back at it in the studio. And like I did that for 6 to 8 months, maybe almost a year. And then I was just like, yo, I need to chill. And I took 3 months off from everything, not working, like a day job, all music shit. Done for like 3 months. I didn't make anything. I didn't push. This was way back when I first started. I didn't know how to make a brand. So like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So you need that time. You need it. You can't be without it because then you're going to start fucking shit up. You're going to start going crazy. And that's how the cookie crumbles,
That's a big lesson that I've had to learn. Definitely the hard. So much of the lessons that I learned are just beating my head against the fucking wall until something fucking good happens, and or until like I realize that the beating my head against the wall is the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of. So through that, like, the things that I've focused on the most, like during this quarantine, is like, look, if I wake up and I get some sunlight and I do some exercise and I do some yoga and I meditate, like at least do that. Cause then I know like I'm okay up here. Like all this shit, I'm not training for a powerlifting competition. I don't even have a squat rack. So like, you know what I mean? I'm squatting with a backpack full of water bottles. Like, so it's not, I'm doing it because like I want to, and because like it's exhausting me, and like I'm getting that fucking beast out of the cage for a little bit. Like I'm letting it so I don't fucking kill someone. Like
Yeah, you're doing it for your health, you know, and it relaxes you. Like it sucks because I stopped because of work. It kind of took up a lot of my time, and I'm so exhausted. I don't even want to do it. For about 3 weeks to a month before I really started working heavy, I was doing a little bit of yoga, like a couple different positions and a little bit of deep breathing exercises and stuff like that. And like, yo, I felt different and I liked it.
yeah.
But I started working 50, 55 hours a week and coming home exhausted because my job is exhausting. I'm just like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So,
I see there's two sides to the coin. It's like, all right, bro, you know, like here's the one mindset of like, you got to grind, like you got to wake up earlier, you got to, and then there's the side, it's like, bro, you're right. You're waking up fucking early. You're busting your fucking ass. So like by the time you get home, like doing it. So like, I get it. Like, and the only thing that like, I got into exercise at a young age because of sports and everything. And it was just like something that was a part of my life. And I quickly realized if I don't, like, I got issues. I'm the first person to admit that like mental health is a fucking thing. And I've been the guy that was like, no, you don't go to a therapist because you got to be a man and take care of it. And I learned a lesson, you know, with everything I went through and had to get clean and all that shit. And it was something that I realized once I, you know, went to treatment and I got back into working out. I'm like, oh, this is the stuff that was keeping me freaking good. Like,
yeah.
and you know, I lost a little bit of that when it went to going toward the competitions and stuff. And I liked it more when it was just, this is my getaway from life. And that along with meditation and just connecting with, you know, my higher power is the universe. Like I'm not a religious person at all. Like you know, spiritual seems to be like an overused term now. Like I don't know. But I try to, you know, meditate every day. I do a lot of yoga now, and I take care of the first thing that I take care of in my day is my mental health, then my physical health, and then I work on my goals and shit. And,
See, that's the right way to do it. And I want to do that, but this is like a shitty thing to say, but that requires me waking up earlier, which I do not want to fucking do.
dude, even when I'm working, I don't go to work till 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So like I love that schedule because like my whole morning is all right, take care of the mental and the physical and then earn your money. And then when I come home, it's like that's my me time to eat food, watch TV, go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm my sleep schedule was always like 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. like is my 8-hour window. And you know, when I wake up at 10 a.m., I don't have to be at work till 3:30. Like that's a lot of time to get, you know, my mental health good, my physical health good, and to work on music type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all that taken care of before I bust my ass for 8 hours a day at work. You know?
Exactly. Like you wake up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, you take like an hour and a half to exercise and shower and all that. Now you still have about 3 hours to, you know, work on music or do whatever else you want that you're trying to
food and all that shit.
Yeah, like you know, you could put like 2 hours towards music and then be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to chill and relax for an hour before I have to go to work. And then you go to work, you do your shit, and then you come home. It's like, all right, now I'm done for the day. I could do whatever the fuck I want. You know, if I do want to work for another couple hours, I can. If I want to just sit and do nothing and go to bed, I can do that too. You know, like that's the thing. Like I've been considering maybe switching my schedule around to do that, but do I want to do the nights? Because when Corona starts ending and I'm doing nights, I start getting gigs. I'm going to have to switch it around again. So I kind of just leave it where it is. And like, yeah, I definitely probably should be exercising and not just having work be my exercise.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I can't get up earlier. I can't do. I can't do.
Dude, the only like suggestion that I can give you is like getting a coffee on your way home so that by the time you get home, it's like you have a little bit of energy to just do like a half hour yoga. And because yoga helps just as much, if not more, with mental health than physical health. Like I love yoga now. Like I'm fucking. I mean, look at me. I got dreads. I got a top bun. I'm a yogi that also fucking power lifts a fuck ton of weight.
Yeah.
And so it's that shit and meditation and being all spiritual and all that good shit. Like it is a beautiful. Like I do so much shit to just bring a smile to my face, like dreads and a top bun. Every time I look in the mirror, every time I look over at myself on my half of the screen, like just a little bit of happiness, you know what I mean? Just like I got this like straw hat that's like this big and it's like a Quicksilver friggin' like when I wear it, I see myself like it's just it brings it makes me smile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like all little shit like that and like even I made a post today and I was outside just soaking in the sunlight, writing my to-do list. And I took a picture, posted it with my fucking hat on and shit. And someone commented, they were like, man, like you're just like you're always freaking positive and you're always happy. And I'm like, you don't know the first hour and a half of my day where I gotta climb through the fear, the doubt, the freaking the self-loathing, the freaking why didn't the relationship work? Like it's an effort. Like the picture is the culmination of beating the mental illness freaking side of this and showing that I can get through it. Like,
yeah,
and I try, I thought I was, showing that as like a part of my brand is like that mental illness and recovery and all this stuff that I care about so much that I try and promote that stuff. And, if someone, sees 3 posts over a month and it's always me smiling, I see why they could think that,
mm-hmm.
But like, and that's another reason why I wanted to start this fucking shit, man. Like being able to talk about this stuff is important and having the platform, like, who knows how many people are going to watch this? Who knows if anybody's going to fucking watch this shit? All I know is that I felt something inside myself that said, Ryan, you need to do this shit because you don't give a fuck when you talk about mental illness and how fucking bad shit you are and I see a lot of comedians that do podcasts. I don't see DJs and producers that are doing podcasts besides playing their music.
Yeah.
Like, I used to. Like, for yourself, it used to be.
It's nice that you're doing this. I kind of wanted to do a little something like this for my Cup of Joe brand, like a little bit of a coffee break thing, and maybe not as long, maybe it'd be like a 10, 15 minute little coffee break thing, but like I would have like you on there and like, or, Mark or Eddie and on the Weekend Warriors and just be like, yo, how's everything going? How's your life? Oh, what do you got going on with Weekend Warriors? What do you all that, just like a quick little thing, like a little podcast and it's like going to be funny and, whatever. I haven't set that up yet, but eventually I will. But it's nice to like do this. You get to like hang out, you chill, you just talk and that's it, for a little while.
Yeah. And people keep asking me like, what's the topic? Like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, you're not getting it. Like, it's going to be us hanging out. Like,
yeah,
whatever happens. Like,
yeah,
that's what it's going to be about. Like,
yeah,
I have no agenda with any of this. It's
like, yeah, this whole, we've been on this for, what is it, 2.5 hours already?
Yeah.
You asked me one question.
Right?
You know, we were just hanging out. I talked to you about My Cup of Joe brand, Smith and Soren. You told me what you got going on. We talked about this whole fucking pandemic, our mental health, our diets, our fucking asthma. And, well, like, you know, we're just chilling, catching up. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's cool, you know? Like, I will say, I definitely am getting tired. I think it's almost bedtime.
Yeah. That's why I had to drink that cup of coffee. I had to drink that cup of Joe. I had to drink that cup of Joe for my
I gotta get some iced tea. I'm not drinking coffee right now, but
yeah, that you know, like the fact that I was drinking it at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I was like,
yeah,
like fuck it. I don't wanna fall asleep during the podcast.
yeah.
And plus I take Alpha Brain. This shit is fucking crack for the brain. I love it.
But I mean, I also did have. We had a late night last night. We were hanging out, drinking, and whatever. We went to bed at like 3 and woke up on like 6 hours of sleep. So I'm fucking.
yeah, you're probably zooted by now.
I haven't even smoked today. I didn't smoke today. Like, and I'm fucking exhausted, bro. I hate it. I hate it. It's like we're gonna finish up here and probably gonna be in bed in the next half hour to an hour, and everyone else is gonna be up watching live streams until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And like, nope. I'm going to be in bed. I'm going to be sleeping. And guess what? I'm going to be waking up at 7:30, 8 o'clock tomorrow and starting my fucking day. Nice.
Right.
You know?
I got a podcast scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow. And then a whole meeting with the Aftershock team for strategy. And in the morning before all that, I'm going to get that antibody test. And I'm going to see what the fuck's good. And
definitely let me know. Oh, well. You're not
far as fuck from you.
You're not going to
get fuck from you.
What?
It's far as fuck from you.
No. I wanted to see what the results were. I'm like, I don't know why I was thinking that are you going to get the results right there or no?
I don't know. We'll see. The chick that I saw that posted about it said, I think she said she'll get her results in a few hours or the next day or something. So, you know, I by the end of next week, I'll definitely know. You know, like I know that much. So, but if I do have it, like my first goal is to go to a plasma donation site, and because the antibodies from my blood is apparently helping other people, and I'm O positive, so I can donate to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very important for anybody that gets the antibody test to be donating their blood and stuff. It's helping a lot of people. And
yeah,
hopefully that means I'm immune. If I have, you know, hopefully that's crossing the fingers. And
that would definitely be nice, but who knows? Anything can happen right now. Fucking this shit, you know.
Sounds good, but all I know is that we got releases coming. We got fucking music, and I'm gonna make sure that I have my man Cup of Joe on here a little more often. I'm gonna try and I'm doing, you know, I have 6 more scheduled over the next freaking week.
Oh, nice.
What I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna be putting out 2 or 3 a week, and try and continue, like, at least while I'm on quarantine, I can do one every day, right? Like I can sit for 3 hours, and you know, some people it might only be an hour, some people it might be 3 hours.
Yeah, whatever it is, you know, whatever people have time for, you know what I mean? That's dope. Dude, I would suggest that if you're going to put out a couple a week, you should stack up on as many as you can now while you have the time to do that, because you're gonna lose. You're gonna get to a point where you're putting out 2 or 3, and you're gonna get there and you're gonna be like, "Fuck,
yeah,
I got to keep this momentum. I got no more content. I got to hit people up." And guess what? People are gonna be like, "Yo, I can't do it in time," or you're gonna run into a problem. And you're gonna be like, "Shit."
Yeah.
So,
like the only reason why I have 6 scheduled is because yesterday all day, it was hitting people up to get, you know what I mean? Like I had to spend a day to get all that scheduled. Like, and so I have my thought is Monday and Thursday seems to be like the best, you know, releases for it. And then, because at the very least, like in the future, you know, I go back to work Monday to Thursday. I can film one on a Friday and one on a Saturday, or I can film both back to back. And maybe they'll start being a little bit shorter. Maybe they'll only be an hour, and I can have the Friday before scheduled, the Friday, Saturday after, and who knows, you know, the end game is to have the music career be paying the bills. So if that's what I gotta do, like that's what I gotta do. And I want people to have another little bit of escape from all this shit. That's why this is called Free Yourself. Like, listen to this, like forget about the rest of the bullshit. Like that's what I miss so much about doing the Friday night thing, because it was like, look, I was busting my ass at a job. At first it was the job that I didn't like, that I was busting my ass in, and I'm like, this is my escape from everything.
Mm-hmm.
And music. But Facebook was throwing a fucking curveball and shutting it down with copyright, and I'm like, I gotta figure this out. And
Twitch.
And that and then so this whole thing with now people are at first, like I was told Twitch had, you know, the same copyright shit, and
yeah, but now what they do is they do, but when you do your stream, like in the hour that I did for Sound So Sweet, what they do is it plays, and then they'll literally just section out the part that the copyright is.
Like mute the copyright.
You'll just be muted,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll keep playing, but you won't hear it because of the copyright.
Yeah.
So it's at least you don't get shut down. You know, like you'll be on a Facebook Live and you'll be playing, and the copyright thing kicks in, and now your whole video is fucked. And like you had maybe like 30, 40, 50 people watching you. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Once that shit shuts down,
they ain't
done. That shit is done. You restart it, you're gonna get like 5 people in there that were watching it, and that's it. And it's like now your whole engagement is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it's happened with me when I was testing my live shit out with OBS and the direct audio, and I did like 3 or 4 or 5 test streams that were like a couple minutes, trying to hear everything and make sure everything worked before I went full live. Mm-hmm. And I got no engagement because I did the test streams. So my shit, they were just like, yo, fuck you. You can't do that like that. But then there was a time where I took my phone, hit live, and just put my phone up on like a thing over here and played it through my phone. I had like 15, 20 people watching me, because it was the first time, the only time that I went live on that day.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, I've been just trying to take a couple minutes here and there to set it up and just put it on, right, test, and then come off, and then not do anything and wait a couple more weeks, and then just out of nowhere, boom. So I don't get anything fucked with the engagement.
Mm-hmm. But the other thing that I was thinking about, like my end game for this was to be able to do twice a week, and then once a month do the Free Yourself music podcast the way I used to do it, and post it on YouTube and all that shit. So that gives me enough time to everybody that submits a song to me if it's a signed track, I need something in writing saying that I can play the track, right? Like, and so that way, because I'm not going to go live on YouTube, I'm just going to post the video on YouTube, and then post it on Apple iTunes. And what they'll do is they'll be like, we can't post this because of copyright. Do you have proof? And then I can submit the proof, and then it'll be good, because I'm pretty sure that's got to be how like A State of Trance and Hardwell on Air, that's got to be how they have to have the rights to the songs to be able to play it. There's got to be some way, because all the big guys, none of their shit gets shit down. But all, us little folk, just trying to freaking build we're all getting shut down. And I think it's because they're taking the necessary, precautions.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably what it is,
Because even if I get people that submit all unreleased tracks, well, like, my goal is for people to hear that song, go to their go find out more music by that artist by going and finding them, and then hopefully it's an ID on my podcast. But then they get their shit signed. But then what's going to happen is when it gets signed, then the copyright's going to come back and be like, you can't play this. I've been getting Facebook notifications saying this episode of Free Yourself has been taken down because of Sony, because of this, because of this, because of this. And I'm talking episode like 52 episode, and it's because people got their shit signed, and now it's getting shut down. Like, I'm like, bro, I couldn't even tell you if I could see episode 52 before. Like, I got to episode 100, motherfucker.
Yeah, you did that for a while.
So yeah, man. I think this is the proper way that Free Yourself should have been done from the start. And I just wasn't. I didn't know about podcasts. I only knew about Hardwell on Air and Nice Air with the chain smokers. And
these podcast things are more new, especially now. With this whole quarantine thing, and this is what people are doing. And I think this is a good idea. I love the concept that you have. I've already said that to you. It's like, dude, we're just chilling. I'm here where I am, and you're where you are, and we're just hanging out, talking bullshit. That's it.
And this way, like, we talk so much about how, like, the branding and all that stuff matters, and it's like, well, I know that there's people in my life that if I shit into a microphone and it got fucking, like, if I farted into a microphone and it got signed, they're going to buy it because they support me, because they know me and they love me. Right. So like, if I can have people on, and then people are like, you know what? Like, I like Joe's personality. Like, I would love to hear what kind of music, like, just because they like you already, it almost doesn't matter what the music they're like, oh, this is different. Like, it'll also not just expose people to your music and have people like you because they like you on here, but it'll also open the door for someone who maybe supports me but listens to classic rock and supports me because they know me, and then they hear you, and then they hear your stuff, and now they're like, whoa, like, what is this dubstep stuff? And they're turned on to that. What is this tech house stuff with Smith and Soren? Like, and then they're turned on that, and it exposes a whole new genre. It's like why Marshmello was made, right? Like, let's get Marshmello on the radio, so then people see his name on a festival bill, and they're like, oh, I want to go see Marshmello, and then they experience it all live, all the different genres, and they're like, oh shit, electronic music is amazing, and I love it, and now they're exposed. Like it. So that's what I'm really hoping for all of this, And
I think you have a great direction of where it's going. The concept and everything is right behind it. I think it just you need to build the content now for it, and then put it out there the right way, But I think this whole thing is good. Free yourself. People can come to that, if you get what I'm saying. I'm saying it like an idiot, but
no, I get what you mean.
People can relate to that. That's like kind of what I'm saying. Free yourself. Oh, this guy, he's got his podcast called Free Yourself. What the fuck?
Time.
What's you got going on over here? What does free yourself mean? Let's hear. And then they go on the podcast, and it's literally, you're just talking bullshit about whatever you want, and you're not dedicated to like a list of shit. Like, you know, you didn't tell me beforehand, like, okay, I'm going to ask you this about these releases, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then that. We just got on here and started talking and hanging out, and it just went in this direction, that direction, that direction, this direction, like all over the place. And people can, you know, relate to that. There's a time here where you can listen to bullshit, or whoever you have on here is getting away from everything.
The craziness of everyday life. Like,
Yeah, it's like two people just chatting and talking to each other, helping each other. You know what I mean? Even, you know, if that's how you would want to put it. Like, I think that's like how it's, you know, because of freeing yourself, you're trying to free yourself from all the bullshit. So you're kind of like helping, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I
like
think it's a great thing.
I'll be the first to admit that, like, I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not a doctor. So, like, fact check this shit that I say. But I try my best to only give from my experience. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody that this diet is the only diet that you can do to be healthy. Like,
Yeah.
no, this is just
No.
what I'm trying now to free that. And, you know, I'm feeling better. You know, my skin is clear, you know, all this shit, because I have eczema too. Like, I got no eczema. I'm you know, it's all the, you know, the CBD stuff. I don't know if this shit works. It works for me. I like
Yeah.
it. I'm freaking, you know, all the mental health stuff, and the pain, the soreness that I get from lifting and shit. Like, I have the CBD roll-on stuff for like, it's like Bengay, but it's a CBD roll-on, like icy hot type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff works for me. And then, you know, if all I can do is say I did this and this happened, and, you know, I have no, it's all anecdotal. It's all, you know, just what I went through. And same with the relationship shit, man. Like, I've been both sides. I've been the not dedicated enough and the over dedicated, and neither works. So, like, gotta find a middle ground. Like, but at the same time, like, I can be over dedicated to my, you know, no, because then there's the balance. You know, I still need to be, you know, I still, you know, so even with, if I'm over dedicated to the music and the branding, that can drive me crazy. And
It will.
thinking of just when I fucking am sitting there and I make a post and I'm being like, oh, it only got this many likes. That's when I know. I'm like, run away, Ryan. Just fucking, this is why your phone is on do not disturb. Run away. Who cares about the numbers? Like, you posted it because you liked it, or it made you laugh, or it made you smile, or you like grass-fed beef, and you know, it's.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You know, you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's all. You know? But
Yeah, man.
all right.
10:15.
Yeah,
Freaking.
it's bedtime. You
Yeah,
see me?
man.
Look at me. I'm not even high, and I look stoned as shit. That's how tired.
Right. So listen,
No, yeah. I mean, yo, I want to thank you for having me. I would love to do this again.
thank you
know?
for coming
You're
on.
welcome, man. Anytime. I would love to do this again and shit. Like, I'll try and keep in touch with you as best as I can. I try and do that with a lot of people, but it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, look, it took me doing this to reach out to you, man, and I'm happy I did, and you know, well, hopefully this opens the door for us to, you know, communicate a little bit more and keep each other. You know, I still, you know, I texted you like 2 months ago. I was like, I want to get a Smith and Soren Road controller, and then you're like, send me something. I was like, all right, and then fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
That's on me. You said send it, and I was like, all right. And then like,
No, dude, it's all right, honestly, because, like, you know, we got buried in shit too. So it's like, people, bro. I have collabs that I started with people for Cup of Joe, and it's been like almost a month or two already since they sent it back to me to work on. And have I touched it? No. Why? Because I'm working on other shit. I'm not, and I'm not feeling that right now. And I tell them straight up, I'm like, look, like, this is gonna, I don't know when this is gonna get done. it'll get done, but I don't know when. I can't give you a time. I can't give you a date. If you don't want to wait, fine. Fuck you. Go take what you did and you want to make your own track, that's fine. Go ahead and I'll take my half and whatever. But if you don't mind waiting, I need to, now that you did your part, I need to do my part again. I need to feel it. I'm not forcing it. So you're going to have to wait. And some of them are like, nah, well, how long do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 6 months. I don't know. And they're like, 6 months. I'm like, yeah, maybe, bro. It's whenever I feel like I get up that day and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to work on that. And they're like, I'm not waiting 6 months. I'm like, okay, fine. Fuck you. You know, but whatever.
If someone can't wait that long, then you're not making enough music if you can't wait that long. Like if that's the song you're waiting because you want to release that one with this and you don't have any other music to release in the meantime while you're waiting for it, like yes, do deadlines work for some people? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm someone that like will if I say 6 months, I'm gonna do it 5.5 to 6. You know what I mean? If I say 3 months, I'm gonna do it the last week of the 3 months. If I give myself a week to do it, I'm probably not gonna do it for a month. Like I'm weird. Like all I know is that when I wake up in the morning and I put my to-do list and I don't put anything more than 10 things on it because I can do 10 things in a day.
Yeah.
And if I do anything else after that, then that's more dopamine. That's a better dopamine dump than if I put 30 things and I only get 5 things done.
Yeah, but also another thing too, those 10 things don't have to be, some of those 10 things can be 10 to 15-minute things.
Bro, the first thing on my list is always make my bed.
That takes 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Make my coffee.
Yeah. 5 minutes.
You know? And
now you already got 2 things done. Yeah.
Exercise, take a walk, especially now, like take a walk or do yoga. Like those are stuff that might take an hour long, but then there's stuff it's like it it was call my sponsor. It was like call my buddy, and like those are like quick things that I do. And you know, so I got everything done on my list that I wanted to do today, and I got to hang out with my 2 nephews, and I got to hang out with my niece and see my sister and my brother-in-law, and like I did more than was on my list. And, you know, I'm going to look back now at the end of this and cross off the last thing of do the podcast with Joe. And I had a great fucking day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can't, you know.
Oh, all right, yo.
Thank you so much for doing this. I love you to death, man.
I love you too, man. Thank you for having me. This was fucking fun. Like I said, definitely have me again. I'm you know, we'll keep in touch for sure. Don't worry.
Man. I definitely want to, once I'm releasing these and stuff, the next time I have you on, I definitely want it to be like a week before a release or something, like to try and help that way. And
yeah, we could definitely, you know, when I have something, I'll hit you up and be like, yo, I got something coming out here. Do you want to fill me in? Do you want to do that? Or
even if you're, you know, you're launching the coffee break thing, or like any kind of something that we can, you know, use to be as like, I'm having him on because he's doing this, but we're just going to bullshit. But like, by the way, he's also got this thing coming up. Like
yeah. And it could be like a little shorter, you know, for something like that instead of a whole long thing too, you know. But whatever. I had fun. This was dope. But thank you again.
Hell yeah, man. I love you to death. Thank you so much. To everybody, peace, love, unity, and respect. We're out.